Hey guys, what's going on? This is Eric Broadus, and again, welcome to my YouTube channel, Eric Broadus YouTube. And on this video today, I want to continue my focus on some military content. And I'm running a series right now where I'm discussing and giving information on transitioning from the enlisted side to becoming an officer. And today I'm going to cover the United States Navy, the programs that they offer, and also the requirements. Now, for certain things, I probably may have to break this up into a part 2 because I don't want to make the video too long and, belabor you guys. You guys get bored with it, so I'll probably just chop it up, but I'll give you the gist. But transitioning from enlisted to an officer in the United States Navy. Okay, well, let's get started and roll with it. Now, the United States Navy, they have several pathways in which an enlisted personnel can transition into the officer corps. So let me start off with the first one. Okay, so the requirements for enlisted to become an officer in the U.S. Navy in terms of the pathways, we'll start first with the U.S. Naval Academy. And this right here is for active duty Navy, Naval Reserves, Marine Corps, and all other branches of the armed forces. If you want to shoot for the U.S. Naval Academy to become an officer, okay? Obviously, I say it again, active duty Navy, Naval Reserves, Marine Corps, your active duty Navy and your Naval Reserves and Marine Corps, they compete for a total of 170 appointments, or if you want to say slots. And what the Navy also requires that for any of these 170 applicants, that they have to have the endorsement of their commander. And this is I know everybody here that's listening to this is not military, or you may not be Navy or of this branch of service, but I'm still going to give the reg. It's OPNAV OPNAV instruction, and it's 1420.1 or Marine Corps Order 1040.43. Okay, and in order for active duty Navy and Naval Reserves or Marine Corps to apply for the officers program with the U.S. Naval Academy, they must have their commander's endorsement, and that commander's endorsement must be accompanied with their application. 3. To get the Secretary of the Navy nomination, candidates must have an SAT score of 1050 or an ACT score of 46 in English and math. And now be mindful, these scores, these are just the minimum to get into the Naval Academy Preparatory School. The acronym is called NAPS. And I'm going to state it again. To get the Secretary of the Navy nomination, right, for a candidate to get that, they must have an SAT score of 1050 or an ACT score of 46 in English and math. And those are the minimum standards to qualify to get into the Naval Academy Preparatory School. And that's obviously to prep you for the Naval Academy, okay? Now, there's several different routes which individuals may take, but in certain cases, teachers' recommendations are not required for individuals who are enlisted and who've been out of school for more than 1 year. Instead, in their case, recommendations are needed from at least 2 officers, and these 2 officers have to be directly in the enlisted member's chain of command. Okay, let me say that again. I'm going to say it again for those that might be a little bit slow. Okay, teacher recommendations aren't required for individuals that are enlisted who've been out of school for more than 1 year. Okay, now for some people, they're not coming fresh out of college and stuff like that with a degree, and some may have been in the Navy or Marine Corps or they may have been out of college for a while and they want to transition from the enlisted side, but they've been out of school for a while. So they offer another pathway. But in this particular case, if you've been out of school for more than 1 year, then they need the recommendation of 2 officers in your chain of command. Now, why is that important? I mentioned in my last video and the video before that, that in order to get these endorsements from the United States Navy to transition from enlisted to officer, your records have to be stellar. That means that you have to be a superstar, a superstar seaman in the Navy in order to get these nominations. The Navy is not just going to spend their money and resources on just any applicant. They want the cream of the crop. And so your records have to be stellar. You have to keep your nose clean, stay out of trouble, make sure that take care of your finances. When they give you these the nomination, they're looking not just at your grades and not just are you an expert in your rate or career field, but they're looking at the overall character of the seaman that is applying for these programs. And the Navy does invest a lot of money, in their enlisted and their officer, but definitely in these programs where seamen and Marine Corps, are choosing to transition to the officer side of the house. So your records have to be, they got to be stellar, and you have to be. I'll say it again. You have to be the expert, or extremely knowledgeable of your field. You have to know your stuff. They're not going to pour that kind of money, time, and resources into just anyone. And you notice, like I said, 170 slots. And think how many Marines you have, and how many enlisted Navy and reserves, that you have. 170 slots is nothing. And then if you have other branches of service, that are competing, that's 170 slots, and that is for the cream of the crop. Now, they also recommend that applicants seek congressional nominations. Congressional nominations, they look really good on your record, and they will set you apart and make you stand out, amongst your peers or either others that you're competing against. So these are things to be considered. These are to be considered if you're thinking about transitioning from the enlisted side to the officer. But the basic core is the same, whether you're already an officer or enlisted. Make sure that you keep your nose clean, stay on top, of your game. Make sure that your uniform is sharp. They don't want just they're looking at everything from image. How do you represent yourself? How do you represent your unit? How do you represent your branch of service? So you have to be the cream of the crop. Now, let me go through some other pathways that offer programs if you're in the United States Navy and you want to transition to the officer side. Okay, let's see. Obviously, I mentioned the United States Naval Academy, and obviously NAPS, the United States Academy Preparatory School, and it does offer qualified, notice the key word is qualified, enlisted members of the Navy Reserves, Marine Corps, and other armed forces members, to pursue careers as officers in the Navy or the United States Marine Corps. So basically, you're crossing over. For those that are coming from other branches, they're basically going to cross over leave their branch, and they're going to transition into the United States Navy to be an officer. Okay, next is the acronym MECP, and what that stands for is Medical Enlisted Commissioning Program. Okay, and what this program here, again, keyword, offering qualified enlisted sailors from all rates to earn a nursing degree, followed by an appointment as an ensign in the nurse corps. An ensign probably be the equivalent of, I guess you could say maybe, I think, a second lieutenant, in all the other branches of service. I know that the Coast Guard uses ensign also, but in the other branches of service, the same rank, 01, it's basically would be, I think, a second lieutenant. You know what I'm saying? I'll double check that and get it back to you guys. Okay, so that's another pathway to transition from enlisted to officer. Okay, next would be Medical Services Corp in-service procurement program, and these basically, let's see, these opportunities are available for these are the following rates or specialties. Okay, or if you're coming from a different branch of service, it would be a military occupational specialty, and I'm explaining this and saying this for those that may not be military yet and you are considering going in, or for those that may be going in and you may want to take this route. So I want to make sure I put that out there and try to make things as simple as possible, because you never know who's watching or listening to this video. But the opportunities are available for the following specialties: healthcare administration, a PA assistant or physical assistant, environmental health, radiation health, industrial hygiene. And especially that's important now, especially with this COVID-19, people using hand sanitizer and masks and things like that. So that's extremely important. Okay, and then you have the pharmacy, occupational therapy, and social work. So basically, what they've done is that they've grouped these commissioning programs into certain blocks, whereas those that are enlisted that will transition into being an officer, officers fit just like the enlisted do. They have different rates. All officers do not operate in the same career field. All officers that are sailors in the Navy are not pilots. Each one has their specific category and area. So you have different type of officers that are going to specialize or cover a certain area. So this program again is Medical Service Corps in-service procurement program. And again, the opportunities are available for the following specialties. If it's any other branch of service, it's going to be military occupational specialty. And I'm sorry, if it's going to be Air Force, it'll be Air Force Specialty Code. And if it's the Navy and Coast Guard, it'll be rate. They basically are the same thing. Rate, Air Force Specialty Code, and military occupational specialty is just a different name for those particular branches of service, but it's basically your career field. And so any of the career fields in healthcare administration, physician assistants, environmental health, radiation health, industrial hygiene, pharmacy, occupational therapy, and social work. Let's see, next, the other pathway we have is the Officer Candidate School. Okay, now this right here, let's see, for service members. All right, let's see what they have for this group. Oh, okay, I see. All right, let's see. The mission of the Officer Training Command. Okay, blah, blah, blah. Okay, they want to build fugitives. Okay, we got that. All right, say for the Officer Candidate School in the Navy, it's one of 4 officer training schools located at Naval Station in Newport in Rhode Island. All right, and basically acronym is OCS. Okay, and understand something, Officer Candidate School, it is not a cakewalk. It is challenging, and they are definitely going to test you, say morally, mentally, and definitely physically. And their program seeks to build officers that have honor, integrity, and they're committed, and they're looking to see if you got any heart. So they're gonna test you. If any of you guys remember that movie Officer and a Gentleman with oh my gosh, I think it was Richard Gere and Lou Gossett Jr. But I mean, he was putting him through it, but that's kind of an idea of what they're gonna do. But it's like any other military program. When you start with basic training or any other program that you're seeking to go into that's specialized, special forces as well, they're going to seek to break you down first. They want to break you down and then basically build you back up into what they want you to be. So most of the training in the military, most of it actually is mental. And granted, yeah, it is physical. You got to be in shape, but a lot of people can cut it physically. But it's the little things where they get you on mentally to see if you're crack or if you can pass the test. So be able to hold it together. But you definitely want to make sure that your physical fitness, your PT, is up to snuff, because in OCS you will be doing tons of PT. Believe it. And obviously you're going to have what's known as high intensity tactical training, which is going to be part of your test, and that right there is for it's going to be it's a strength, conditioning, and like a swim qualification. So I don't know if any of you guys are good swimmers, but you might want to take some swimming lessons or get some practice. But most of your military training, even if it's geared for strength training, it's going to be geared for muscle failure and conditioning and endurance. And definitely strength is required, but most of it is to failure, how long you can last. But anyway, yes, but that's officer candidate school, and this is a 13 week course. And what the purpose of it is to provide a working knowledge of the Navy, afloat and ashore. So that means that when you're out at sea, and also when you're doing shore duty, okay? And what they do, they prepare you to assume responsibilities as an officer in the Navy, and they seek to develop you to your fullest potential. But understand something, no matter what the training program, how far you go is up to you. Now granted, you may be able to meet their qualifying standard, but how far you go is going to be up to you. They're going to push you to the extent of what they can, and then should you make the qualifying limit, if you want to be your best, how far you go is going to be up to you. But that's the officer candidate school. Let's see what other let me see something, what other pathways. I'm going to have to make this a part 2, because I need to break down the specific qualifications for each pathway. Okay, now you have the limited duty officer and chief warrant officer. That is another pathway. And for my guys that and ladies that are in the Navy, I apologize for saying seamen. The correct term for you guys would be sailors. I'm sorry, I apologize for that. And for any of those that are listening, civilians included. But the limited duty officer and your chief warrant officer program, and I discussed that with the when I did the last one with in transition from enlisted to officer in the Marine Corps. And the Marine Corps and the Navy, they have some similarities, because the United States Marine Corps falls under the United States Navy, so they share basically the same secretary. They're under the Department of the United States Navy, so a lot of stuff is going to be the same. That's why the United States Marine Corps can go into pretty much any program that the United States Navy offers, to include going into the Navy SEALs, because they actually, even though the Marine Corps is a separate branch of service, they do fall under the Department of the Navy. Okay, and let's see. We also have the Seaman to Admiral 21 program. Okay, and let's see. Okay, the Seaman to Admiral. Seaman to Admiral 21 program. Okay, it combines the following programs to create acronym STA 21 program. Seaman to Admiral. And it's an enlisted commissioning program. Okay, which involves, you have aviation enlisted. Okay, for those that want to be pilots, that career field will fall into that. Nuclear enlisted commissioning program. Civil engineers corps enlisted commissioning program. For you Marines and you Navy, where's my CBs and my devil dogs at? All right, and guys, just in case y'all may not understand, those that may not understand who the CBs and who the devil dogs are, basically the CBs are civil engineering, the career field that does civil engineering for the United States Navy, and the Marine Corps civil engineering guys that cover that occupational specialty, they call them devil dogs. In the Air Force, we call them civil engineering, or they may fall under under Red Horse Squadron. The Army has the Army Corps of Engineers, and it should be pretty much I'll check what the Coast Guard calls, but it pretty much should be the same, you know. But it's all the same occupational specialty. They just use different names. But I had to give a shout out to my CBs and to my Marine Corps Devil Dogs of Civil Engineering. So that program is covered in the Seaman to Admiral 21 program. So if you are enlisted in that particular career field and you want to transition to become an officer, you can apply under this program. Let's see, what else do we have? We have the Fleet Accession to Naval Reserve Officer Training Corps. Okay, and let's see, right here you have the yes, NORTC, and it does include an option for nurses. Okay, for those of you in the career field of nursing. Wow. Okay, let me go on through this, guys. I'm going to break this down. Okay, you have the Uniformed Services University of Health Sciences. Okay, next is the Enlisted to Medical Degree Preparatory Program. Okay, and this is for qualified enlisted members that allows them to complete any preparatory coursework for an application to any medical school while they are on active duty. Okay, continuing, and lastly, I have the Nurse Candidate Program, acronym NCP, and what this program is authorized under it's a Reg 116C, and what it does, it offers financial assistance for students that are enrolled in a Bachelor of Nursing program, and this right here obviously covers reservists. So all of these programs, they do cover active duty, reserve, guard, you know what I'm saying? So I will definitely break down each of these programs and give you more of what the specifics are, because this is a lot of information to cover, but I'm just pointing out the pathways to you. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to leave a link in the description of this video. So if you should decide that you want to research these different pathways for yourself, you can check them out, you know. But I wanted to make this information available to those that are considering enlisting in the Navy and those that are already in and you want to transition to an officer. But these are the pathways, and on the next video I'm going to make this probably a part 2 and maybe a part 3, depending on how in depth I have to go with each of these pathways, because there's going to be certain requirements, and if I go through the requirements for each one, it would make this video really long. So I'd rather break it up so that the material can be absorbed in shorter bites, you know, and it won't take as long, and you can digest it easier. But thanks, guys, for taking the time out to watch this video. And the name of this video is a part of a continuing series. It's called Transitioning from Enlisted to Officer, United States Navy. And I thank you to special thanks to all my subscribers, to those that have supported me, and for those that would like to subscribe to my channel, tap that bell and hit all so that you can get any future podcasts, live streams, or any other videos, or anything coming from even my Snacks Thoughts channel. So the name of my channel is Eric Broadus YouTube. That's ERICBROADUS YouTube, or ericbroadusyoutube.com. And I don't only do military content on this YouTube channel, but I do some travel, some philosophical. You may find some things on science. So I do a variety of other videos on this YouTube channel, and I also have a Snacks Thoughts podcast, which is SNAKZTHOUGHTS, Snacks Thoughts. And please subscribe to Snacks Thoughts. You can find me on Anchor, Spotify, Spreaker, Apple Podcasts, iTunes, Radio, PBM, and a host of other social media platforms. But thanks again, guys. Thank you. And I hope this wasn't too long for you guys. But the name of this one is Transitioning from Enlisted to Officer, United States Navy. That is all I have for this one. And I will be back with another part 2 for the Navy, so I can further break down these other pathways. But link will be in the description should you decide to research it for yourself. But something to think about for your careers. And shout out to all the men and women that are serving in the military, regardless what branch, whether you're active duty, reserve, or guard. I give you a salute and thank you for your service. All right, guys, peace out. Catch you on the next one.